Hello, everybody, and welcome to Imperfect Politics, where we talk about imperfect politics. I've been hearing a lot of things about the Alberta pension plan lately, how all Alberta is trying to see if it would be a good idea to get out of the CPP and make their own APP. And I've heard a lot of either confusion or wondering what does this mean? How it will be delivered for pensioners who are already on the CPP? What it'll mean for them. So I thought I'd make a video of sort of a quick breakdown on what the Alberta government's saying about their whole plan for this, which it doesn't really seem to be too much in the works so far. From what it says down here at the bottom of their website, the link below to it is that they've only just released their report, so probably we'll have to wait for the panel report to be due, because that's when it seems like they'll get all their feedback from Albertans. And what I just want to make clear right now is we do, as Albertans, have a referendum on vote on this first. So that means that every Albertan will have the chance to actually vote to say whether or not we want to go from the CPP to the Alberta pension plan. So this is not like how our federal government just pushes us to, just snaps their fingers and has a quick vote to see what they want to implement on Albertans. This is actually, we get to vote on what we want. I know that's not really how Canadian politics works, but hey, you gotta make a few jokes once in a while. Alright, I got some notes here, and let's start. Goes through their whole big plan here. What's in it for us? On Alberta, September 21st, 2023, released independent. Yes, we know. We'll just skip that video because let's not care. Alright. Your pension, your choice. Isn't that always how it works? Alberta's pay too much into the CPP for the benefits they receive. The reports estimates that Albertans could have over 5 billion. 5 billion. Holy moly, I'd like to have that in my pension plan, that's for sure. In the first year alone, by removing the CPP to an APP, that money could be used to increase pension plans for Alberta seniors and paychecks for workers. Whew. Sorry, I'm still stuck up on that $5 billion. This could also mean a reduction in costs in Alberta businesses, which is true. I mean, if as they say, if what they say is correct, a lot of businesses would save money on putting their money towards the APP as well, because as we know, what we pay into the CPP right now, our employer matches it. So if what they're saying is true, we pay into our APP, and that's less than, of course, our employer will be paying less. So assuming that's the case, it could mean more business and better business in Alberta. So there are many different options to combine pension contribution decreases for workers with benefit improvements for seniors in the designed new APP. Alright, savings is divided between reductions in contribution rates for workers and increases in benefits in seniors. Sounds good so far. But we know they're not going to say anything bad about it on here. Larger pensions for Alberta seniors. The $5 billion in savings realized by Alberta Pension Plan could be used to boost the annual pension benefits for Alberta seniors. That could include a significant increase to each senior's monthly pension payment, or even $5,000 to $10,000 bonus payment in retirement. Sounds awesome. Woohoo. But would, from the questions I've heard from pensioners, they're asking, do we get that $5,000 to $10,000 even when we're on our pension already, or is that for people who are going to go on their pension or be on their pensions in the future? Right? That's sort of the issue here, and that's what we're sort of waiting for, as we saw at the bottom. Bigger paychecks, which they're saying that our paychecks per year will go up $1,425, which would be awesome. That would help a lot during going through this recession we're having. Excuse me. And yes, that's the same for businesses. Of course, small businesses would love to have that savings. Now, this is the interesting thing coming down here with the $334 billion in assets, is what they're saying we deserve to get back from the CPP. So I did a little bit of research on all of this, and so we'll do a little bit of talking about it. So what do they say? Along with more money in your pocket, an Alberta pension plan would be more stable than current Canadian pension plan. Don't they always say that? All investments are stable. Unless it's just a savings plan, I don't really know if you can guarantee that. CPP of approximately $334 billion would have a much bigger pool of assets. To expenditures, and then with the CPP by comparison, okay, is a bottom line. Alberta pension plan would mean greater pension benefits security for Albertans. Well, that would depend what you're investing in. If you invest in Bitcoin, then that's gonna be worse security than if you're investing in bonds. So yeah, that's kind of here nor there. Anyways, now let's segue to a little bit of investigating I did. Okay, let's segue over to the LifeWorks Alberta pension plan analysis. LifeWorks is the company who actually did the analysis to see if we should get out of the CPP and whether it would be a good thing. So we're going to look at the key features of the Alberta pension plan and how they're going to deliver it. But I don't have time to go through 82 pages, and I'm too lazy to go through 36 pages and read this. I read about 20 and then I nearly passed out. So I will leave a link below to where this is, and you guys can look through it yourselves, or let me know if you want me to go through it with you guys. We can start a live stream or something like that. The most fun live stream in all of YouTube, probably. Alright, so let us see what the Alberta government thinks would be best. Alright, given the size of expected asset transfers from CPP and Alberta's current younger demographic. So, from, I believe, what they're talking about here, about the younger demographic and why this will be less is because Alberta has younger workers, not as many seniors, and earn on average more than the rest of the country. So that's sort of what they're talking about here. Yeah, like I said, that's why we're getting these lower contributions. So our base benefit would be, as they say, 5.91%, and for CPP right now we're paying 9.54. As we're looking at here, CPP legislated rates are 9%. So, like they say here, we will be paying less. Pretty much the same on our first additional benefit and our second additional benefit. It's the base benefit that we'll be paying less on. And I'm assuming that is, as we said, because of younger workers, seniors, on average, we earn more. Just reiterating the same thing. Alright, I should have bookmarked this. Let us see. So page 8. Alright, so key features of Alberta pension plan. Levels of initial benefits, yes. How it would be changed in the future, as they observed from 2016, enhanced as adopted by the QPP, which is the Quebec Pension Plan. Alberta could unilaterally amend or change an APP once it has been established without being constrained by the Confederation consensus mechanisms outlined in the CPP Act for making amendments to that legislation. And as it said on their website, they have, after Alberta notifies that they're going to be leaving, we have 3 years to tell them how that's going to be done. This is pretty important for what we're going to go to next to determine what the pay is. If we do a pay-as-we-go contribution rate, that'll mean the contribution rate needed to balance the total incoming contributions each year with outgoing benefit payments and the expenses. In each year, this rate will increase with more retirees or fewer contributors. The pay-as-you-go rates do not take into account any assets already accumulated and are provided as additional information for reference only. Or if we pick a minimum contribution rate, then the contribution rate that is expected over the projection period to the balance of the total incoming contributions plus the required portion of the assets and investment income with the outgoing benefit payments and expenses without a shortfall in any year of the projection period. This rate will remain stable over the projection period. The CPP is funded based on the minimum contribution rate approach. So this kind of depends on what we choose. From what it looks like here, it's kind of seeing as we're looking as a pay-as-you-go contribution rate. So as they have a chart here, evolution pay-as-you-go rates for CPP and APP throughout the projection period. So as you can see, CPP 20, our contribution rate for CPP 2022 9%. If we had an APP, this is what they're saying, based on whether it's all true and whether or not the math is correct. Ours would be around, 6.8, or what we said before. I thought it said 5. Let us go up here. Base benefit. Interesting. Ours said 5.91. No. Okay. I am wrong. It's not up there. Okie dokie. All right, so yeah, they're starting with 9.1. All right, so sure. So as you can see, mainly the only time they project that the CPP will be lower is in like 2082, which who knows if inflation is going to eat away at our pension plan, and then we're going to be able to even buy bread with our pension by then. I don't even know if I'm going to be alive by then. I don't know. Right, and I have one more chart down here, which is interesting. What they say, they're delivering an APP. So, as discussed, in order to ensure a smooth transition, a number of factors need. So this is pretty much how they're thinking of transitioning, and it kind of looks like they're wanting to go by what Quebec's already has implemented. Now, it's good to know that Quebec never was in the CPP. So all the excuses and complaining about like Quebec's pension has nothing to do with us, because in the past we said we would contribute to the CPP. Quebec said, no, I don't want to. We can do it ourselves. So it makes sense why we're trying to formulate ours like the QPP, because it's already done. It would be a good thing to look at and talk to people in Quebec of what they think about how theirs works. Anyways, all right. That's all we'll be looking at. So that's where that $334 billion in assets is sort of coming from. Also, and I checked this up on the CBC, so very leftist site. This is how they're explaining it, and you can take it or leave it. They're saying for the past 50 years that what we've accumulated with compound interest and all of the money that we've pooled in is $334 billion. So, and that's I believe what they said is 53% of the CPP. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the Alberta and Ontario are the majority of contributors to the CPP, and if you were to take Alberta and Ontario out, then there'd be almost nothing in the CPP. So take that as you will. 334 billion seems a little bit large, but compound interest over 50 years. But you also got to remember money's being taken out to be distributed to other people in Canada for their pensions. So that might not all be there. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do a payment plan if this actually goes through. So it won't come out all at once. It'll come out in installments. 10 provinces, 3 territories, portability. So this is another big thing is what about the workers who come to Alberta, work in the oil fields and all of that, and then move back to their home province, which I know a lot of people out east, like in the Maritimes, do. So here's what they say: an Alberta pension plan would work much the same way as the Quebec pension plan, which we already saw. That's what they're basing it on. The government of Alberta would work with partners at CPP and QPP to develop agreements that would allow individuals to move throughout Canada. Okay, so they already know about this problem, and they're pretty much saying they're going to figure it out later. Well, they're going to say that this is already allowed. Though, as we said, with this 500 or 334 billion, when somebody out of province moves to Alberta and then makes their money here, their taxes go to the CPP. That's reported as an Alberta contribution? So did they include that in the report when they said that we're going to get back 334 billion? Because if so, then we're actually not, because that should be deducted out of that 334 billion. And last but not least, $60 billion more dollars in Alberta. Let's to Ottawa. Is Alberta gonna use our money and invest our money in a better way than Ottawa does? And it depends. Let's just say. So for decades, Alberta's young working population, higher employment rates and higher pensionable earnings, as we said before, resulted in Alberta's workers and businesses contributing approximately $60 billion more into the CPP since inception than has been paid out to Albertans during the same time period. Moving to an Albertan pension plan would end that and continue over. Moving to an Alberta pension plan would end that continued over contribution and free up those savings to benefit Alberta seniors and workers for generations. Now, sure, I mean, as much as I'd say that would save $60 billion, I'd have to see the final panel report to actually say anything about that. But yes, if we do get that $1,400 each year, that would give us a lot of wiggle room in our finances, at least like over $100. So I'm rounding there. Anyways, that's all I have for the Alberta pension plan. I will make another video about the environmental plan of the Conservative Party of Canada later today, and put all the links below. Make sure you comment and subscribe. Make sure you comment, because this is called Imperfect Politics, and with your comments, maybe we can make this a little bit more perfect.